Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today, let's take a look at the 2025 BMW 430i Gran Coupe. Huge shout out to Hendrick Mini for providing this model for me today. Take a look at their website, that link is down in the description. This 430i is finished off in Vegas Red Metallic. They have a starting MSRP just over $50,000. This is powered by the 2-liter inline 4-cylinder turbo. It's paired to both the mild hybrid system along with the 8-speed automatic and pumps out 255 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. This model is rear-wheel drive, weighs in just shy of 4,000 pounds. It'll do 0 to 60 in 5.8 seconds with a top speed of 130 miles an hour. It also has a fuel capacity of 15.6 gallons. You'll expect to see 27 miles per gallon in the city and 35 out on the highway. This also has a wheelbase of 112.4 inches. Its overall length is 188.5. It has a width of 72.9, a height of 56.8, and its ground clearance measures in at 5.5 inches. Now, as we take a look at the exterior styling for this Gran Coupe, you'll notice it has a very large kidney grille with all of the brushed accents to give it a great incorporation. There's a forward-facing camera, active grille shutters in the upper section, and then plenty of cutouts in that lower section too. Now, this also has a dark housing for all of the LEDs. There's some gloss black accents on both corners with more inlets there, and then some nice crisp lines coming down the hood. Now, this model also has a two-tone design for these wheels, which match very nicely with the theme of this model. There's more gloss black for that lower strip there, chrome on all of the window trim, and then the two-tone design for the power folding side mirrors, which feature a camera and a turn signal. There's also a sunroof up top, and then this has the flush mounted door handle design with some plastic for that lower side skirt there as well, and some nice subtle lines that flow to the back. Now, in back, there's a backup camera in the BMW badge itself, LEDs for all of the lighting, and then the parking sensors. There is some plastic for the bumper there, and then the dual exhaust system with the chrome tips. And then it's not all that loud, but you can remote start it using the key fob. So you just triple tap on the lock button to do so. And then you can use the button on the key fob or the control underneath to open up the entire rear glass section. So unlike a traditional trunk, this has that hatchback design, making it a lot more practical for larger items. Now, you do have some storage bins on both sides. There's no storage under the floor. You can remove this and fold down the back seats, and with this large opening, you can place in some larger items depending on what you are carrying around with you. And then the two buttons up top will either close that or lock the vehicle. Now, if it does lock, just grab any door handle and you can lock and unlock it. Now, this is paired with the white interior. There's also Harman Kardon for the audio, all of the brushed accents, and some storage down below. And then very nice design for these seats. And at 5'10", I have a good bit of space. Now, there's no storage pockets behind the seats, but yeah, vents, temperature adjustments, auxiliaries too. And even with the design of the rear, I'm just barely touching the headliner. You do get a little bit more headspace if you go with the 330, for example, versus the 430 here with this roof design, but I could still ride around town and be comfortable. So it's a little bit of a trade-off between rear seat passengers and your cargo space. Now, you do have cup holders in the armrest here, and then you can also fold down this middle seat if you need some access into the back. And then you do have the additional cargo window there, so that way you can better see around this pillar here. Now, up front, this also has memory seating adjustments, and then the rest of the controls are laid out very nicely with the grab handle right in the middle there. And then there's the automatic seats, which do have one manual adjustment for the leg support down below. And then as we hop in, we are greeted with a pretty funky design for the steering wheel. It has a flat bottom design to it, and then almost a flat top design to it as well. But let's start this up, and we can take a look at the digital gauge cluster now, where on the left side, you will see miles per hour. On the right side is the tach, and then you do have some fixed information in the lower section too. Now, on the left side of the steering wheel, there's all of the cruise control settings. There's also paddle shifters too, and then on the right side there's volume tuning, Bluetooth, and voice commands. And then you also have a lot of content that you can scroll through as well. So just depending on what you'd like to see, you can bring it up in full screen here. You can also adjust the layout too. So depending on how you want to view this information, you have a few different ways to do that. And then the last one is for the head-up display, where you can go through a few different settings there. Now, to the left, there's all the headlight adjustments, one air vent just above that. And then with the infotainment system, you have shortcuts in the lower section here to quickly get through all this info. You also have shortcuts down below, so you can use all of these. Now this has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and lots of other icons to go through to set this up. Now on the home screen, you do have a split view, so you can go through info on this left side and still retain the map. And then you have shortcuts into climates, navigation, and music. And then this has heated seats, a heated steering wheel, and temperature adjustments. Really neat wood trim accent underneath that, along with air vents, volume tuning, and defrosters. There's wireless charging, auxiliaries, and cup holders, and you can hide those away as needed. And then you have those shortcuts. So like I mentioned, you can quickly go through all of this information as needed. Now in order to put this into reverse, simply just push that forwards, where you have automatic parking, backup assistance, and then that 3D view. So it doesn't matter where you need to see, you are going to have that visibility, and you can also pull the forward-facing camera up in full screen. There's drive, sport mode, and then park behind that, and then traction control, parking sensors, engine start stop, and you do have a few different driving modes to go into as well. So that will change the throttle response. There's auto hold and the e-brake, an auxiliary and the armrest, locking glove box with plenty of storage, and then garage door buttons, dome lights, and controls for both the sunroof and sunshade. And then here's a look at visibility. That extra window in the back definitely helps over the right side. You can kind of see it over the left there, so you definitely have a lot of visibility for its overall design. As we set up behind the wheel for the 430 Gran Coupe, this is the first time checking out this model. Now I've been able to film a lot of the 3 Series, the 4 Series in general, but never this model here. I've been in the M440i Gran Coupe. There's a lot of different options available from BMW, just depending on what suits you best. Now we just got out of a 330i with the same power plant as this 430 here. So we have nearly the same vehicle-ish, just with this 4 Series, you get the hatchback design versus the normal trunk. So the biggest difference is cargo space. What do you plan on doing with your daily driver? Are you putting in a lot more items and you don't really have people in the back, or are you doing the opposite? Either way, you're going to get a really fun vehicle to drive. And with this in sport mode, let's go to second gear. We'll give it a small acceleration. Not very loud, pretty responsive though with the paddles here. And of course you can go with the M440 if you want a bump in your performance. Driving around in the 430, it's a very nice vehicle, very comfortable feeling, well refined. You have a lot of different options again, like I mentioned earlier, and it's a great place to be. So if you're looking to rack up miles, maybe you're hauling a lot of things with you all of the time, this is a perfect option to go with. And even with the design of the rear end, it's pretty easy to see around. The rear window, it's pretty long and narrow, but I can easily see if there are any vehicles behind me. And out in the real world here, looking over both shoulders, I can easily see. Now, as far as headroom goes for this model up front at 5'10", I have maybe 3 or 4 inches, and this has a height adjustment for the seat. So you could be taller than me and still fit comfortably in this model. So again, this would make for a great daily driver. We have a lot of tech features and just a really nice ride in general. And in sport mode, second gear, here we go. Just a mild acceleration, definitely a good bit to it to get up and move without this being the performance-oriented model, but we do have pretty quick paddles for a really nice response there. So this is what it's like to be behind the wheel for the 430. We have the funky steering wheel, and other than that, everything else is nearly identical to the rest of the BMW lineup in terms of this model year and the tech features that are currently available. But again, a really nice place to be. You have a good outlook over the hood too. And if you're just looking for a really good daily driving practical vehicle, this could be your only vehicle with the space that you have in the back. So you could even fit in some small bikes or something odd shaped like that with the cargo space that you have. So very versatile in those aspects. And then as a daily driver, you can rack up the miles, really good MPG, quiet driving vehicle, and well refined too. Even going over some bumps like this, it feels nice, feels normal for the type of vehicle that it is. So you have a really good option here, and for its price too. Not too many other vehicles in this price point that offer this type of space and design. So it's a really good option to go with if you're looking for a hatchback, but you want it to look more like a normal sedan. But that is going to wrap it up for the 2025 BMW 430i Gran Coupe. Once again, huge shout out to Hendrick Mini for providing this for me today. Take a look at their website, give this video a huge thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and consider smashing that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with our daily uploads. I will see you all in the next video.